If I asked you right now to name all the Asian or Asian American actors you knew, how many could you name? Not that many, right? What about Asian American or Asian directors? It can be seen in the entertainment industry how productions try to get the best actors and directors, leaving some people behind to not get the same opportunities to make it in this field. Some of those people are Asians and Asian Americans. With little representation in Hollywood, Asian Americans will not be able to express their identity and individuality in mainstream media. Due to the lack of presence in mainstream media, there's this ongoing perception that Asian Americans are just not expressive enough to act for Hollywood movies. We all boast about going home and marathoning whatever show may be new on Netflix or going to the midnight premiere of the newest Hollywood movie. In recent years especially, we've all began to see a shift in how movies and TV shows are created. The casts are starting to reflect the fact that our society is not just white. However, despite attempts to diversify casts, there's been a key figure missing amongst these crowds. That is Asian and Asian American actors.
In many movies and TV shows, Asian characters are often either minor characters portraying the stereotypical behaviors or not present at all. It was in the 1920s when Hollywood saw their first Chinese-American actress, Anna May Wong. However, since then there have been many instances where roles meant for Asian actors have been given to white actors in yellowface. The most notable example of Mickey Rooney in Breakfast at Tiffany's. Compared to other races, the 2016 Hollywood Diversity Report illustrates Asian American film actors to being only 5.3% in 2014. The amount of Asian directors represented in the 100 highest grossing films each year have virtually no change from 2007 to 2016. In the over 1,000 surveyed films, only 3.4% had an Asian director directing the film. In recent years, we have begun to see controversies surrounding the casting of non-Asian actors in major Hollywood movies. Some of the best known being Scarlett Johansson's portrayal of a Japanese character in the Ghost in the Shell movie, Emma Stone in Aloha, and Jim Sturgis in 21. While Hollywood tries to include more Asian representation, the Asian actors are often tokenized, meaning that Hollywood is making an effort to have racial equality by incorporating this minority group simply to better their own appearance. In an interview with Huffington Post, Nancy Wang Yuan, an associate professor of sociology at Biola University that studies race and ethnicity in mainstream media, she addressed the idea that this is something Asian Americans struggle with in general: visibility. You're not recognized as someone who is fully present in society. It's a literal silencing of Asians, and it reinforces the stereotype that Asians aren't expressive, they're invisible, that they're not really there. But that's because Hollywood's not casting them. According to Hong, a Korean-American actor, Chinese actors say, "We are just flower vases. We don't speak, we just stand there and look pretty." He states that we are always the model minority because of the general perception that Asians are not complainers and will dutifully do the work assigned to them. He states that there are many opportunities in Hollywood, but it is only the small rows with one lines. If you want to be a store owner, the nail salon lady, or the IT tech guy, those are the parts, but rarely do we get a chance to be the main character. In attempts to reconcile with criticism, Hollywood directors have offered different justifications for their actions of casting white actors for non-white characters. Ridley Scott, the director of the heavily ridiculed Doctor Strange, argued that he wanted to completely avoid Asian stereotypes by casting a white character. This, however, is just avoiding the problem entirely by choosing to disregard the matter and sweep it under the rug.
We then decided to interview some people about this topic to see what they had to say.
Whitewashing is when people cast white actors to play non-white roles.
What are your views on that?
It's racist because they're giving away opportunities that could have gone to Asian Americans.
Well, I mean, obviously it's bad, but I mean, it's kind of been ingrained in our society since the beginning of the United States, so I think people got used to it, and then now we're seeing this new revitalized movement towards making Hollywood more diverse.
I don't think that's right. Yeah, it's not fair because there's so many minorities that aren't represented enough, so it's kind of not fair to those minorities in general. They should be given a better chance instead of just favoring the white race.
I don't know, honestly. It could be a race thing. There's a self-importance among white people where they have to see themselves as the protagonist, and they have to see themselves being most related to. And when it comes to displacing a white person out of that central role, there's a displacement of importance within that person. Like, am I not important now? And there's a sense of white fragility as well that has been documented and researched by so many people, where if you start to address issues of white centrality, white supremacy, and this type of racism that we're seeing in media, people get really defensive.
If the people in power don't see Asians as a viable character or as a viable moneymaker, capitalism, then they aren't going to cast us in these roles. They aren't going to be like, yeah, we'll have an Asian American superhero in our next Marvel movie, which they should, but it's not a viable thing that they think is going to be successful.
I think what can be changed is that obviously let's start with hiring more Asian people, whether that's in acting, whether that's in directing or screenwriting, just getting Asians plugged into all different fields so that we can start writing more roles that pay attention to what our culture means, pay attention to who we are as people in the Asian American society.
There's a power dynamic that's an unequal power dynamic right now that's the status quo. And in order to rectify that, they have to step up or step down to support us.
Asians are becoming relevant in this community and culture. Hollywood has to modify to this new change of casting more Asians and not use excuses to justify their decision that big names allow for more popularity and makes more money. They also need to change their views on how Asians are hard to cast because they are not expressive enough. Shows like Fresh Out the Boat and Wong Fu Productions feature Asian American cast and are making action for the group to be heard by society. Hollywood needs to learn that Asians are not outcasts. They are a part of this country and they want to be represented just as much as anyone else. Our action plans are to share on social media #ExpressivAsians or #WhitewashedOut, donate, volunteer at capeusa.org support or action.18mr.org donate, and to spread awareness by posting a poster around various places in Chicago.